Mann, Poseidon Ponds and Landscaping. Spring is in the air. And we have a running water feature here. And as you saw from that first shot, tons and tons of activity is happening right here in this water feature. This is an ecosystem style pond with a wetland filtration on it. Right here you can see the water's coming up through the rocks. We don't necessarily want to see that with a wetland filter, but in this circumstance, in this time of year, that's what we see here. Look at all this growth of algae. Look at that. This is so much activity happening in an ecosystem style pond. Everybody would probably freak out right now, and we probably get plenty of phone calls. This is not a bad thing, okay? We're just coming out of winter. Plants aren't growing. A lot of biological activity is not happening. So what happens? You get algae, right? It's a sign of a healthy ecosystem. Sounds crazy, right? All the nutrients that are available in this system are being taken up right here by this algae, okay? So, like I said before, a lot of our customers get very twitchy and freaked out in this situation, right? Because most people don't like to look at algae, right? So there are a bunch of things that you can do in this situation, right? Leaves are causing nutrient load to increase in a system like this. The algae itself is built up from that. So definitely remove as much of the debris as possible. Going through, as you can see, the algae and everything is attached right to this. So just by removing a lot of this debris before we can get out here for a full clean out, or if you're not going to have a full clean out, you can remove a lot of this debris that's starting to break down and decompose. All the nutrients that were built up and taken up by the trees are all coming out of these leaves as they break down, right? So the algae's loving it, feeding on it, thriving, right? Just look at this. But what I like to point out to everybody that's very concerned about algae in the circumstance here, look at the clarity. I mean, look how clear this water is. How impressive is that, right? You got all this activity down in the rocks, right? But the rocks, you can see all the different colors in the rocks. You can see the clarity on that. So a lot's happening here. The ecosystem style pond with a wetland filter, tons and tons of activity, as I've been saying. So just by cleaning out some of the debris, that's really going to help reduce the amount of algae that's built up. Like I said, you're still going to have that algae because you have the nutrients in the water column, right? So one of the other things you could do is add cold water beneficial bacteria. That's a type of bacteria that works in colder water conditions. It's going to compete for those nutrients. So once you do a real good cleaning and get all that debris out, you're going to want to add that cold water bacteria to it, okay? So don't freak out when you see algae. It's a good sign of biological activity happening in the system. It's keeping the water clean, okay? It's keeping it healthy. The fish are going to be super happy about it, okay? It's going to add the oxygen that fish need. It's going to detoxify a lot of the other buildups, ammonia and things that are happening from the breakdown of this material. So all good things. If you have more questions about algae popping up in my pond this time of year, please give us a call at 734-726-5061 or reach us on our website, www.poseidonponds.com. Thank you so much. See you soon.